So it's Holyrood's first week back, and I thought that we'd be talking about sort of blizzard of domestic policy announcements by the Scottish Government. But it'd be fair to say that Holyrood has been dominated and consumed by a different story. And that was a story broken by the Daily Record last week. One of the MSPs, Colin Smyth, has been charged in connection with a camera in a Scottish Parliament toilet. And as you can imagine, that story's created quite a lot of fear and anxiety in the Scottish Parliament. John, you'll have spoken to people who work there. There is a general sense of sort of shock, alarm and distress over what they've been reading over the past few days.
Yeah, I mean, you frequently get stories where politicians claim to be shocked and genuinely distressed by things that are happening, and this is one of the rare occasions where I think that they genuinely are. All of the MSPs I've spoken to just can't believe it, can't understand it, and yeah, I think they're genuinely very perturbed. Obviously, there's a police investigation, and we need to be careful what we say about this. But I think, yeah, in general, it's left MSPs and everybody that works in the Scottish Parliament really quite upset and confused. And I think the wider effect in the public, I don't even really think this is so much a Labour issue as a politics issue. I think that the public look at this and they just think, why does it seems to be so disproportionately the case that we're getting these stories, like, just ridiculous stories like this coming time and time again from the general political sphere. It does seem completely disproportionate to what you would find in other walks of life. I think that the public are as dismayed by that as MSPs and people in Parliament.
Doug, I mean, I don't think I've had sort of the reaction to a story since I joined the Daily Record. It's been pretty intense the last few days. But if you're trying to imagine that you're someone who works in the Scottish Parliament, and I do, I mean, there is this sort of sense of not paranoia, but at the very least, people want bathroom dignity, and we've had a sweep of the building by the cops. We've had John Swinney comment on it. We've had an Sarwar comment on it. We've had the presiding officer, Alison Johnston, comment on it, but she's kind of tied by what she can say. And clearly it's alive. We'll be very careful, but in a very general sense, people want answers, don't they?
I wouldn't blame you for feeling a wee bit paranoid, for feeling very exposed. It just shows you that, I mean, the whole story is just bewildering. It almost defies belief. So, people are going to want to know, when did the police find this footage? Do they know how it came about? When are we going to get answers? Obviously, it's now, there's legal proceedings taking place, and if there's one thing we've learned about, the wheels of the Scottish legal system rarely run particularly quickly, so it could be quite a while before people who really deserve answers. And it's not just, those allegedly caught on film as well who'll be feeling this. I think, every time someone goes to the toilet at Holyrood now, they might be, they'd be within their rights to be sitting there thinking, is Big Brother watching me, so to speak. It's just absolutely, I think that it's the most bizarre story of the year in some ways, but also one of the most shocking. I think it's deeply disturbing, actually, that this is, that this has happened, and I've got sympathy for all the MSPs caught up in it, regardless of party. I think ultimately, John, as this goes forward, it might be seen as a Labour issue. It's not a great look for, Anis Sarwar, for one of his MSPs absolutely to be suspended from the whip and, charged by the cops. And again, notwithstanding the fact that we've still got a legal process to go through, Colin Smyth, like everyone else, is entitled to.
And he absolutely completely rejects the forms as well.
So, but it's not a great look. 9 months,
especially given an election. He was the general secretary of the party previously, so this isn't just a sort of unknown MSP. He's held very senior positions in Labour.
No, he has. I mean, one aspect I think we can talk about is the police. Now, they say that they charged Colin Smyth over the possession of indecent images on August the 5th. The Parliament says that it was only about 2 weeks later that they got confirmation of charges and the identity of the person who'd been charged. And I know that there are MSPs who believe that the police were too slow to inform the Parliament, and that the Parliament should have been informed on the day that Colin Smyth was charged.